Hi, this is Andrea here with more fun tips for white men who want to ask out black women. My credentials are I have been in a relationship with a white man for over 9 years and it's going strong and amazing. And over the years, before seeing my man, I had relationships with different white men, not exclusively white men, but I feel like I'm an expert on dating white men, specifically white men interested in black women. So I am here to help white men out who are interested in relationships with black women because first of all, I believe that interracial dating and interracial relationships put us on the fast track to racial healing, which is really important to me. I think it saves lives. And then the other reason is because I think love is amazing, and I never want anyone to feel like they can't ask somebody out because they don't know what to do or they're whatever kind of fears they have coming up. I want to kind of assuage those fears and offer any kind of support I can. So that is what I'm here to do. So the first video I made was about how white men can approach black women on a cold call situation where it's a black woman they've never seen before and they're probably never going to see again and they need to ask her out right then or their chance is gone. So this video is for what I call the slow and steady approach. So it's like a black woman that you are in a class with or a black woman that you work with, basically a black woman that you know and that you've seen before and you will be seeing her again and you kind of have a friendship or a familiarity with each other, but you haven't taken it to the romantic level that you want to take it to. So this I'm very familiar with because my man, let's call him Chad, that's how we met. We were in a writing class together, and then over the course of the 9-month term, we got to know each other. So I feel like this is like the sweet spot for white men. And I say this because I feel like white men tend to be more subtle than black men are when they're interested in a woman. And of course, I'm painting with like a broad brushstroke here. Obviously, some white men don't fit this mold and some black men don't fit the mold. But my point is, in my experience, white men tend to be a bit more subtle, so they're better at a long game. It kind of suits your skill set. So you don't have to go in there kind of like immediately letting the woman know that you're interested in her. But at some point, you will need to communicate your interest. And when that happens, it's going to be very similar to the cold call approach, but you'll have a bit more confidence because you've built a relationship with the woman over time. So what you have going for you is that the woman's not going to necessarily be like concerned for her safety like she would in a cold call approach because she knows you. But she may not have had any idea that you've been flirting with her or that you are interested in her. And you may think, white man, that you have been making it really clear, but unless you were explicit, it may not be clear to her. So like my man, for example, he's like, well, of course I liked you. How did you not know that? We'd been like going out. I'm like, no, we'd been hanging out. You'd been asking me to hang out. And that didn't necessarily mean to me that you were interested. He hadn't like, initiated any kind of physical contact. He hadn't kissed me, like he hadn't complimented me physically. So I had no idea that he was interested. So at some point, you're going to have to communicate to this woman that you're interested in her. And don't assume that she knows. Maybe she does. Maybe she speaks white man. Maybe she speaks Chad. But if she doesn't, you need to be explicit. And again, that's what happened to me. Like my man and I, we were watching the fireworks on 4th of July and he kissed me and I was like, oh, he likes me. I had no idea. Like he'd, had his hands in his pockets the whole time. I had no idea. He hadn't even tried to hold my hand, so I had no clue. So at some point, you gotta let her know. So you can compliment her, say that she has nice eyes or a beautiful smile, something to let her know that you recognize her as a sexual romantic being and that you are interested in her. And then you might want to do something really sweet, like just kind of, touch her arm or like maybe try to hold her hand or something like that. Or if it's a work situation, ask her out to lunch, but then tell her, but very specifically tell her, I would like to take you out to lunch. And you need to probably precede that with I know we've been friends for a long time, but I just wanted to let you know, I do think you're a very beautiful woman, or I've always been really captivated by your smile, or, something to let her know that you acknowledge that you guys have been friends for a long time, but you're interested in taking it to another level. So to give her kind of a chance to realize that that there has been interest there, and maybe that you have had interest all along, because she may not know that you had interest all along. And then you can give her the opportunity to see how she feels about it, see how she responds to the attempt to hold her hand, or to the physical contact. And if she smiles, then that's lovely. Of course, you have to be careful in like a work situation, to respect your HR policies and things like that. My experience was primarily in creative endeavors, like I said, with like a writing class and everything. But I did date a lot of white men at work in a courthouse sort of capacity. So these were other attorneys, so we were on the same kind of level. They weren't necessarily in my office, but they were other attorneys that I would visit at the courthouse. So we didn't really have the same kind of HR issues. But, men know how to, if you want to go out on a date with a woman, at some point you're going to have to ask her. So I really want to encourage you to do that and support you in taking that risk, to see if she's interested. And, again, a compliment, and then offering to take her out for coffee, or tell her, I would love to buy you a cup of coffee, or I would love to buy you lunch. And again, preceding it with a compliment that's of her physical person, shoulders up, smile, eyes, and then holding the smile so that she's clear. So hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel for more fun interracial dating tips. I support you. Good luck.